Hello and welcome. Today is October 2nd, and as we celebrate Gandhi Jayanti and birth anniversary of India's former Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri Ji, I welcome you all to today's edition of Bureaucrats India Dialogue. I am Vidya Dwivedi. Today we have with us Mr. Himanshu Nagpal, a distinguished UP Cadre 2019 batch IAS officer who is currently serving as the Chief Development Officer in Varanasi, Uttar Pradesh. In Varanasi, he has taken several pioneering initiatives that has drawn the attention of the whole nation. He secured 26th rank in the UPSC 2018 examination in his very first attempt. Earlier, he had completed his BCom honors from the prestigious Hansraj College, Delhi University. Mr. Himanshu is not only an accomplished professional, but also a well-rounded individual with interest in cycling, photography, and poetry. His career reflects his dedication to public service and a commitment to shaping a better future for the communities he serves. We welcome you, sir. Looking forward to have your insights.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. I now request Associate Editor Mr. Rakesh Singh Ji to please carry forward the conversation.
Thank you, Vidya. Thank you, Himanshu Nagpal ji, for joining this Bureaucrats India Dialogue, where we capture good governance stories. And for past 10 years or so, we have been putting forward the good governance stories to our readers, and we have got wide appreciation. Today is Gandhi Jayanti and birth anniversary of former Prime Minister Lal Bahadur Shastri, whose birthplace was Uttar Pradesh only. And we are proud to welcome Himanshu Nagpal sir. To quote Mahatma Gandhi, we must be the change you want to see in the world. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. And Himanshu Nagpal ji is exactly doing the same in a very short service as a bureaucrat, as an IAS officer. He has worked extremely well in Varanasi. We'll start with we have some questions to you, Nagpal ji. My first question is, Mission Muskan has been a remarkable success in reuniting children with their families. What inspired you to launch this initiative in Varanasi? And could you please share some key initiatives and heartwarming stories that have emerged from this program?
So basically, Mission Muskan was expected to as a part of our all-rounded mission to ensure that no child should be left behind who is away from education. So Varanasi is a pilgrimage city. Thousands of tourists flock in every day, and it was just out of random visits at the ghats and at the temples where we realized that there are thousands of children out there who came with their parents, and unfortunately they were left behind because of the crowd, because of the rush. As Varanasi has multiple junctions, railway junctions as well, multiple bus stations and multiple temples, where people from across the country and the world come for the pilgrimage. So it was out of our field visits and out of our experience that we realized that there are thousands of such children who are in need of our help. And then we realized that we started working on how can we send these children back home. So we have our child care homes. We have our NGO partners who work with us. So we started this Mission Muskan to identify these children, to take them to our shelter homes, and then from those shelter homes try and identify the place that they belong to, and then connect them with the local administration, and through the local administration connect them to their families and send them back home, so that no child should be pushed into begging or should be kept away from education. So in this mission, what we did was to form 12 teams, which involved people from different, which involve different stakeholders, including the social welfare department, the women and child development department, the municipal corporation team, anti-human trafficking team, police people. So 12 such teams were formed, hotspots were identified, and these teams used to visit those hotspots and identify these children. And these children should be brought to the child welfare homes. And now there were multiple things that we did at our child welfare homes. First of all, we increased their numbers. We roped in our NGO partners so that our capacity could be expanded to keep these children there. And then improvement of facilities at the child welfare homes. So at these 20 child welfare homes, we ensured that world-class facilities, air-conditioned rooms, full facilities for education, entertainment, dedicated time schedules, smart classrooms, and skilling modules. They were introduced, they were started. And at those child welfare homes in our visits, I realized that often these children know the location. They do not know exactly the name of the location, but they know the surrounding and they know the basic things about the place that they belong to. Maybe they don't know the exact name of the district. So at a point, I was there and I realized that in half an hour of a conversation, I was able to identify the location through the use of Google Maps and technology. So basically, we realized that if these children could be exposed to a bunch of psychologists who can help identify their locations, it would be really useful for us to identify the location that these children belong. So we also robbed in a team of psychologists and doctors who would talk to these children and try and identify their homes. And then we would connect through video call through the local police station of that of the place. And that local police station would then try and identify the family. And then either we would send the children back to their family, or the family of that children would come and take their children back home. So this was the basic team structure of how Mission Muskan worked. And as of now, we have been able to send back 780 children back home. And there are multiple heart-warming stories that come up. These children belong to like multiple states across the country. They belong to Andhra Pradesh. They belong to Telangana. Some children were belonging to Nepal, West Bengal, and then there were certain children who were away from their home for last 3-4 years. And then somehow through this mission, we were able to connect them back to their families. So those families would come, you could see them, the mother crying, looking at the children. So these are very heartwarming moments that we were able to create out of this mission.
Might have given a massive, sense of satisfaction by taking such initiative. And the best part is that you have involved so many departments and NGOs and taken a holistic approach for those children who have not been able to meet their parents. Your another initiative, Bulawa Abhiyan, seeks to address low attendance and enhance literacy skills among children. Could you elaborate, or could you put some light on the strategies you have employed and in schools within Varanasi during this campaign?
So education has been my most important and favorite area that I believe, because I believe if the wisest and the most important thing that we as bureaucrats can do through the society is human development. And primary education is one of the major roadblocks, major building block towards the same. So we earlier worked on improving the infrastructural facility, Kayakalp. 100% of our schools are saturated now with Kayakalp and all the basic indicators. We're working in providing smart education to the schools. Almost 90% of our schools now have smart classrooms. And then we worked on improving the FLN skills and improving the providing smart education and then improving the level of our science, maths and English education at the primary schools. But at the same point, what I realized that till the point we cannot take our students who have been enrolled to the schools and attend, we cannot improve the attendance rate. So those children who for some reason are not coming to the school, they will be left out of the advantage of everything that we are doing. So we started this Bulava campaign with multiple points to improve the attendance rates of our schools. So in this, what we did, one part of this Bulava campaign was to identify the reasons of those children which are not coming to the schools. So there were multiple things that came out of this. One reason that we were able to work out was that some family problem or something, some lack of push from the family, or the family not knowing about the facilities provided in the schools. And then the second reason, we were able to identify lack of interest of the teachers. So we formed certain KPIs, key performance indicators, that every school was supposed to do. So these KPIs were formed out of the experience of the schools which have remarkable attendance rates. So we took their inputs, how they were able to improve their attendance at the school. So indicators like timely presence of the principal and the teachers at the school. Then second, involvement of the grassroots functionaries, including Pradhan and village secretary and Anganwadi and Ashas of the school. And then third, sir, some exposure of the parents to the school facilities. And then there were multiple such KPIs that we formed. And out of those KPIs, we did a briefing exercise. We identified 150 such schools which have low attendance rates. And then at those 150 schools, we ensured daily tracking of the 7 KPIs, where daily we would take reports whether the teacher reached timely at the school or not at 8 p.m., at 8 a.m. And then we would take whether the morning assembly took place in that school or not, whether timely PTM took place or not, whether timely minutes of those PTM were did in the right manner or not. We created a WhatsApp group for all the parents with the teachers, and we used to put daily messages uh, for the children to reach timely, and for we used to put in the video of our children like being taught at the school and the facilities that we provide at the school, so that parents could be exposed to the good environment that we've been able to create at the school. And then our Pradhan, our Asha Anganwadi with the teachers would go to the doors of the school. That's what the Bulava thing is called about. And we used to do also some entertainment exercises with the parents as well. For example, musical chair or certain activities that school on itself. These 7 KPIs would be daily monitored through a control room. And for those 150 schools, in 1 month, we were able to improve the attendance from below 40%, the exact number was 38%, to over 80% within 1 month for those 150 schools. And then now what we started uh, is every month we would identify the 150 lowest schools, and we would track those indicators in those schools. And with the regular inputs, also we would change these KPIs. So overall, we were able to improve our attendance from below 45% overall in Varanasi to above 60%. Right now, the attendance rate at Varanasi is highest in the state, and we are still working upon in improving this. With this, also we are trying to work on the fundamental reasons on certain family issues of the children. For example, we identified 1730 such kids which are enrolled in the schools who have become orphans, and because they have to be involved in certain as a help to their family because their father has expired. So what we did is is identify all those 1730 children, enroll them in a scholarship scheme of the state government, and also with 13 schemes of the state government and central government, so that their family could be given a livelihood, and they need not work for the family, and they could dedicate their whole time to towards their education. And I'm glad to share that now all those 1730 children are daily attending their schools. We are separately identifying and tracking them, and we would continue this campaign further as well.
Amazing work, Nagpalji, because not only you're touching, improving the education, but touching the key issues which are causing concern for not attending, children's not attending the schools. Another your pioneering initiative is Biksha Vritti Kashi. I mean, this initiative has earned both praise and regrets. And this campaign has been pivotal in addressing the issues of begging near sacred places in Varanasi. As you know, as everyone knows, the footfall of pilgrims has increased over the years. Because of thanks to the initiatives of the Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. Can you provide some insights into the campaign's objective and how it has effectively tackled the long-standing problem of begging?
So again, like the Mission Muskan was born out of this Biksha Vritti Mukt Kashi campaign only. Where what we did in this Biksha Vritti Mukt Kashi campaign is again we formulated certain teams, because Kashi being a land of pilgrims, multiple temples. So often we would see there are destitute people around the temple who are in need, and often there are certain people who are habitual beggars also. So there's certain categories we identified why there are beggars in front of the temples and the ghats. So there are certain type of people, like there are certain destitute people who are in actual need of some help. Then there are people who belong to certain other places, and just somehow they've lost their children, or they've lost their some family member, or they've lost their memory, and they cannot track back the number of their children or family members, and out of compulsion they are pushed into beggary. And then we also realize that there's certain habitual beggars also who just out of the habit they're involved in beggary. So we formulated teams again, like Mission Muskan. We formulated multi-stakeholders team involving anti-human trafficking team, social welfare department, municipal corporation, and then we involved multiple NGOs also. One certain NGO, Apna Ghar, had a very big role to play. And then we tracked where can we keep these identified beggars, so that we can keep them there till we arrange tickets for sending them back to their home, or we push them towards some livelihood activity. So we identified 8 shelter homes where we can keep them, and then we tied up with Roti Bank, who would arrange for their fooding facilities. So these teams would go to all these hotspots that we had identified, where we could see beggars. For example, there's Sankat Mochan Mandir, Kashi Vishwanath Mandir, Assi Ghat, there's the Sashwamed Ghat, where you could go and see like hundreds of beggars earlier. So these teams would go. First of all, we would identify the reason of which category this particular beggar would fall into. And then we would first counsel them. We would take, for those who are ready, we would take them to our shelter homes. Those who could not arrange ticket to go back to their home, we would arrange tickets for them. Till the point we are able to send them back to their home, we would keep them at the shelter homes. Then there are certain destitute people who would have no family members, who've lost their family, or who totally lost their memory, and there's some organs are also damaged. They've lost their legs. They've become differently able. We would keep them in our NGO-run destitute homes, for example, Apna Ghar, and other shelter homes also. And there we would provide them a dignified livelihood. For example, we have arranged for Dona Pattal machines at these places. We have arranged for chappal making machines. We have arranged for stitching classes, where we would provide in the raw material, and after their proper medical treatment, till 1 or 2 months, it would take them to become healthy again. If they would require some medical intervention, we would provide that medical intervention as well through Red Cross. Some surgeries have were also required for certain destitute people, so we arranged for that also. And then after they become completely healthy, after they regained their consciousness, we would arrange some livelihood activity for them. And if we are able to track back their location, and their family members are ready to take them back, we would send them back home also. For those who do not have any family member, they are staying in these shelter homes and doing the uh, dignified livelihood activity for themselves. For those families who were habitual, we after counseling, uh, for those who did not had livelihood activity, we connected them to government schemes. For example, PM Swanidhi Yojana, Mudra scheme, etc. So all in all, it's been 4 months to this mission started in April, and it's been around, I think, 5 to 6 months since the mission had started, and it has given remarkable results. Now we get daily feedbacks from the visitors that Kashi is not the same that it used to be earlier. It used to be very difficult for any tourist to come and visit the temple without going through hundreds of beggars and destitute people, which used to also certain give a bad message about the city, which we were able to now take them towards a dignified livelihood and do good for them. So around 450 destitute beggars we were able to rehabilitate and give them a dignified life.
So, when can we expect that? I mean, we can say that Varanasi will become beggar-free. And what have you set any target for this? Like, in which year would we be completing this mission?
So this is a regular going on activity because tourists keep on flocking in, pilgrims keep on coming in. So if you stop the mission right now, 2 months later, maybe you could see again the beggars out there because people keep on coming. So we were able to resolve our backlog with this intensified campaign. But this would continue till till we are certain that there are no more beggars out there in the streets. But still, like this mission would have to be continued, and it has given very good results. And in times to come, we'll try to ensure that no person out of just being destitute has to come towards beggary. So soon we will be able to declare that Kashi has become beggar free.
Great initiative and congratulations
Thank you.
for this mining work because this problem plagues all the pilgrim spots. And I remember reading a story of Gaya in Bihar, where the beggars used to run, a bank over there from the collections they used to get every day. So this is a nagging problem, and it has to be worked in a very systematic way, and that we are doing. My next question, I mean, my colleague Pragya has some questions for you also.
Thank you, Rakesh sir. Our compliments to you, Himanshu ji, for your various initiatives that you are taking in Varanasi that has been changing the face of Varanasi. While going through your profile, I have come across one very notable initiative, that is Mission Padhaku, Ek Gram Panchayat, Ek Library. Can you explain how the conversion of unused rooms into libraries has positively impacted children's access to education in rural villages, and perhaps share a success story?
So, as a student myself, I used to earlier lived in a village, and I realized there are certain households in rural areas that do not have that environment where they can study freely and they have the facility to just come and read. So, in my earlier part of my present tenure as Chief Development Officer itself, I happened to visit some villages where I realized there are multiple rooms which are unutilized and which we can easily convert to a library. And then we formed what all facilities do we need to provide over there? There's furniture, there's proper repairs of that room, and then we need to provide the books. We need to provide us computer. We need to provide some regular things like a water camphor and such things. So I had this discussion with my block development officers, and everybody was very much interested towards this. And within 1 month, we were able to create 130 digital libraries in our villages, where there was a lot of public involvement also. The people that had now shifted to Mumbai, Delhi, or they're working abroad as well. They contributed to the mission with free hand. So with very minor government support, mostly out of the public contribution, we were able to create 130 libraries, digital libraries in the villages. And now with those systems, we have started this mission also, where to the self-help group females and to the school going children, we are trying to make them, we are trying to saturate all these segments with basic knowledge of IT and computers. For example, MS Word, MS Excel, MS Paint. How can they how can they work on basic things of the computer, web browser, how does a web browser work? So we are trying to put very basic knowledge to the children and to the rural females. Impressed with this effort, Government of India gave money to us for 356 such another Gram Panchayats, where we through that support of Government of India, we are now saturating another 356 Gram Panchayats with village libraries on the same platforms, and now we're calling them PM Digital Libraries. So those 356 libraries also within 20 days they'll be ready and dedicated to the public through through this effort of Honorable Prime Minister, because it's his Lok Sabha constituency as well. So there's a lot of push from Government of India towards rural areas and social sectors of Varanasi, and they'll be dedicated to the people through his hands only within a few days.
That's great. That's great. Actually, with the help of community, you are doing such a great work, and you have got so many endeavors that you are doing in Varanasi. That's actually wonderful. So Varanasi has received recognition for its efforts in rural tourism promotion. What specific initiatives have contributed to this recognition, and how have they boosted tourism and economic development in the region?
So rural tourism, Varanasi is, as we all know, is one of the most important tourism sites, not just for the country, but for the world. It's the cultural capital of the country. And because of the Kashi Vishwanath corridor and Ghat tourism and Sarnath, crores and crores of tourists come to the city every year. So as a additional way of recreation activity, we thought, why can we not develop our villages in a way that those people coming from abroad or coming from major cities can have an exposure of how a village works also. So in that same effort, we identified our villages which could be dedicated, which could be developed in particular themes. There are certain villages we are developing in the theme of pilgrimage tourism. There are villages we are developing in themes of ecotourism. There are villages where we're developing them on the themes of agritourism. In all these different sectors, we connected with the stakeholders. We took help of our farmer producer organizations, FPOs, who have amazing farms, and we pushed them to developing them towards ecotourism retreats. To develop their farms towards ecotourism retreats, we connected them to experts for the same. Then we improved the infrastructure of the villages, improved the sanitation status of the villages, improved health infrastructure of the villages, and then to improve the stay facilities and tourist facilitation. In these villages, we provided the required facilities. So in this manner, we are trying to develop different villages in Varanasi for rural tourism, and glad to share that the numbers have been remarkable. Thousands of tourists every month visit some of our villages, Kethi village, Rameshwar village, and Shultankeshwar Mahadev village. So these villages are developing, and we were still working on this initiative of improving the rural tourism indicators. And I hope this works out well and this continues.
Really wonderful, Himanshu ji. ये सोशल जब हम टूरिज्म और सोशियो इकोनॉमिक की बात कर रहे हैं, तो अभी हमने पीछे देखा कि laying of foundation stone for an international cricket stadium by PM. Recently, we have seen that. So, how do you envision this stadium contributing to the development of sports and tourism in Varanasi and the surrounding region?
So recently, in the visit of Honorable Prime Minister, the foundation stone for BCCI Cricket Stadium was laid down in the village Ganjari of Varanasi. This stadium would be 35,000 capacity, where as we know that Eastern UP has no such facilities, international facilities for a cricket stadium. Earlier, Honorable Prime Minister had dedicated a ring road for Varanasi to improve the traffic situation and provide better facilities for the residents of the city. So now, for an improved development, an effort is being made to develop a new Kashi through that ring road. And with the stadium coming in, lot of investment is expected on that in that region. It will be a center of growth, not just for Varanasi, but for the whole Eastern UP, as different people in Eastern UP would be investing in this area. And when this area is saturated, this will have spillover effects to the neighboring districts like Jaunpur, Chandoli, Ghazipur, Azamgarh, Pratapgarh, Balia. So this will have very good spillover effects, and hopefully the whole Eastern UP, not just as a uh, means of entertainment, but also as a means, it will become a major means of livelihood, a major means of investment, a major means of economic growth for the whole of Eastern UP and neighboring states of Bihar and Jharkhand also.
Wonderful, wonderful, Nagpalji, and the success I can see coming up before the construction of the massive stadium which Honorable Prime Minister has laid the foundation. I can see the future of India in sports arena with a massive haul of medals we are getting in Asian Games. Silver, gold, bronze, etc. And with a promising officer like you, the kind of energy and passion you have, we can see what could be the future of things to come in Varanasi and Uttar Pradesh. Congratulations and many good wishes from our side. Something personal about your success in UPSC exams, Nagpalji. Your success in clearing the UPSC exam was like you have scored rank 26. And you're an alumni of Hansraj School, college, and many aspiring civil services candidates believe that English is an essential medium for success. To share your experience of overcoming this challenge and what advice you like to give to students.
So I did my graduation from Hansraj College. I graduated back in 2017 with BCom honors, and while in college, I was doing my chartered accountancy, and I had cleared 2 levels, CA Foundation and CA Inter. CA Inter, I also had scored All India rank 9. So, but after college, but while within the college, with their with the used to write notes and examination papers for differently abled kids, and in that exercise, I realized like my inclination towards public service, and there I also did an internship with Parliament Research Scheme where I got an exposure of how bureaucracy works. So that developed an inclination towards civil services and bureaucracy, and I made up my mind in my last semester to give this examination. In this process, I some family difficulties, some personal issues also came up. My father and brother passed away. I also had to overcome that loss and fulfill my responsibilities towards my family also. But with their blessings and their hard work and God's grace, I was able to achieve this success and clear my examination within my first attempt. 2017, I graduated. 2018, I given my first attempt, and I was able to qualify. And it was their blessings only. It was my mother's blessings and God's grace that helped me recover from that loss and give my best to the give my best of efforts in this examination. And as a result, I cleared in very first time with 26th rank.
When I was going to your live, see, I remember.
Your voice is not clear. Can you just? I think your voice is not clear. It's not audible.
It's audible now. Am I audible now?
Yes, it's better. It's better. Yes, better now.
तो मैं रामधारी सिंह दिनकर राष्ट्रकवि हमारे हैं, उनको मैं याद कर रहा था जब मैं आपके ये करियर की यात्रा में पढ़ रहा था। तो वो उन्होंने कहा है, कौन विघ्न ऐसा जग में टिक सके वीर नर के मन में, हम वो हिलता है जब नर पर्वत के जाते हैं पांव पर, मानव जब जोर लगाता है पत्थर पानी बन जाता है। तो नागपाल जी, I mean, you have faced several personal tragedy. You lost your father, you lost your brother, and it could have been a very difficult time which you had faced, and the resilience you have shown, it's very, very great, and it's an inspiration for many people who are aspiring to crack civil service examination. So how did you manage to stay motivated and focused on your goal of becoming an IAS officer in such difficult times? Could you share some personal story? Because many people, many viewers who have joined us would like to know about you, about the great thing you have overcome, the great tragedy.
So I feel personally that instead of external sources of motivation, one should always have some source of self-motivation. One should try to visualize the things that one wants in life, and how with their efforts they can achieve that. So what I used to do for my self-motivation, I had this chart on what I want in my life for myself and what my parent had dreamt for me. I used to just look at every day and like tell myself that what my father, what my brother had thought of me, had wanted for me, and just that inspired me to work day and night for this feat. And then also,
just Nagpal ji, just your camera has switched off. So switch on your camera.
I can my camera is on. I think is it better?
Just
Am I visible now?
Yeah.
Your network is unstable, sir. That is why your voice and
Okay, maybe.
You're visible now.
Is it visible now? Yes.
Yeah.
So again, in civil services preparation, it's very important for one to stay motivated and for one to have a perfect balance of academic and other activities, their hobbies and their interests. So I used to maintain that balance, and very well I used to perseverance and consistency is very important in this service, in the preparation cycle as well. So instead of looking for long-term goals, one should have short-term goals on what they need to do for that day. And once we achieve one goal, we always get a source of motivation that yes, I was able to do this thing that I wanted to for this day. Tomorrow again, I'll make sure that I would complete the task and targets that I've set for myself. So if this consistency is very important, and once any aspirant that is aiming to participate in this competition, in this cycle of civil services examination, if one maintains this consistency for at least 1 or 2 months, this consistency itself becomes a source of motivation for that aspirant. So that is my only message for everyone that is looking out at this interview and wants a source of motivation on how to continue for civil services examination. One, maintain that consistency. Second, always visualize your dream and your targets. And third, maintain maintain a academic and your hobby balance. Do not push yourself too much. Do not study for 15-16 hours a day, but make sure every day you study for at least 9-10 hours, and do something for yourself in terms of your participation in your hobby and interest as well.
Now, since you have joined your professional,
Your voice is not clear, Rakesh. Yes.
yes, now we
Yes.
have.
It's better.
Yeah. So it's a challenge for everyone. It's a challenge for everyone that how one should maintain work and life balance. So just know that you have interest in cycling, photography, poetry, and so how do you manage your time despite all your busy, demanding time, and you're working in a constituency which is Honorable Prime Minister? So how do you manage this work and life balance?
Definitely, at this place, it's a bit difficult to maintain your hobbies, keep your interests intact, and spend your time for the same, because there are multiple international events. There were last 6 months. There were 7 G20 summits that happened in Varanasi. So we have to be involved in their organization, their planning, and the multiple national and international level events that keep on happening. The multiple PM visits. Honorable CM also visits very oftenly to the place. So it at times becomes difficult to ensure to keep this work-life balance. But as a personally, I believe that unless we spend our time towards our hobbies and towards our interests, our motivation and our energy for work also declines. So whatever possible time that I get, either in the earlier hours of the morning, at evenings of Sundays, or late at night, I make sure that I come back and I spend my time in my interests and hobbies. I love cycling. I do long hour cycling journeys. So in mornings I try, weekends or holidays, that in morning 5 o'clock I take out my bike and get a long ride in the city. And Varanasi, as everyone knows, is a beautiful city, and it's a beautiful ride that one can do while cycling. And roads have become such that it's a wonderful experience. And then photography, nobody can get a better frame that one gets in Varanasi. So like on that front also, I'm trying to improve my photography skills there. And for poetry, I've been writing since a long time. I'm trying to write and complete my poetry book. So I'm on the track, and I, whatever thoughts I get, whatever experiences I develop, I try to put those thoughts through prose and poetry in my diary. And that's a hobby that I cherish, and these are my interests that I've developed. With that, I try to spend some time playing badminton, playing squash, tennis. Right now, I'm learning shooting as well. So uh, uh, to improve my self motivation, to improve my energy, to keep a positive mindset. I think keeping this personal work life balance is very significant and important.
Wonderful. On that note, we would like
could
to
you just
request.
Pragya, 1 minute.
Yes.
I would like to listen to one of your best, according to you, best poetry, a very short one, just 2 lines. आपने जो लिखा है कविता में, जो हमारे दर्शकों के लिए मोटिवेशन बन सके.
One of the recent poetries that I wrote, बात किया तो पता लगा तुम मई की ठंडी रात से हो, मैं फूक फूक कर चलता हूँ रातों में चोरों के जैसे. बात किया तो पता लगा तुम हंस. These are some of the things I keep on writing, and like these are not particular to any one theme or the other. They range across from love and parents and care, and some personal problems that I've faced, and also some professional issues that I see. So they range across all areas.
Okay, and your message for Bureaucrats India.
My message for Bureaucrats India is that it's a wonderful initiative that I also keep on visiting the Twitter handle and through others' experience, everyone learns. I've learned from some of the experiences bureaucrats have shared through Bureaucrats India, and it's a wonderful initiative, and I hope that it gets larger and larger every day. So all the best to the team, and all the best to Bureaucrats India.
Thank you,
sir.
Nagpalji. And just I'll ask Pragya to conclude this session of wonderful interview we have with you.
Thank you, Himanshu Nagpalji, for taking out your time from your busy schedule. We know being in Varanasi, it's how busy it is. And coming here on a holiday, it's really privilege for us. So thank you so much for sharing all the initiatives that you are taking in Varanasi and making Varanasi, giving it a very different look now. So thank you so much. And we would like to have you again here. I would like to thank all my team for this wonderful interview, back-end support from Vigya, Pooja, Nana, and everyone, along with our editor-in-chief, Dr. Navneet Anand. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.